My brothers and sisters, you are not here by accident. Some of you are tired and ready to quit. So let me speak to you today, not casually, not softly, but with urgency and fire in my spirit. Because some of you are standing in the middle of blessings and still calling your life empty. You're breathing, but calling yourself broken. You're sustained, but calling yourself forgotten. You're chosen, but calling yourself unworthy. And today, that mindset breaks. Today, we don't just talk about blessings. We awaken to them. Because when you see what God has already done, you stop begging like you're abandoned, and you start walking like you're appointed. 1. You woke up, and heaven signed your name again. You didn't just wake up. You were called into another day. God looked at time, looked at purpose, looked at your life, and said, "Give them one more sunrise." Scripture. His mercies are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:23. Do you hear that? New mercy, not recycled mercy, not leftover grace. New. That means whatever you did yesterday, whatever mistakes you made, whatever regret tried to follow you into today, it didn't survive the night. Because God said, "I'm starting with you again." That's not small. That's supernatural grace. 2. You still feel conviction, which means God hasn't left you. Some of you feel that tug in your spirit, that correction, that discomfort when you drift. That's not guilt meant to destroy you. That's God calling you higher. Scripture. The Lord disciplines the one he loves. Hebrews 12:6. If God had abandoned you, you wouldn't feel anything. You'd be numb, cold, disconnected. But the fact that your spirit still responds, the fact that something in you says, "I need to get right," that's proof you are still his. And if you are his, you are blessed beyond measure. 3. You've been in battles you never trained for and still didn't fall life. Didn't ask you if you were ready. The pressure came anyway. The loss came anyway. The uncertainty came anyway. And yet, you're still here. Scripture. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say the weapon won't form. It says it won't prosper. That means the attack was real, but the outcome was already decided. You didn't survive because you're strong. You survived because God stood between you and what tried to destroy you. 4. God has been steady, even when you were unstable. Let's be honest. There were moments that you doubted. Moments you slipped. Moments you didn't pray like you should. Didn't trust like you should. And yet, God didn't move. Scripture. If we are faithless, he remains faithful. 2 Timothy 2:13. You may have wavered, but he didn't. You may have stumbled, but he stayed. That means your blessing is not based on your perfection. It's based on his consistency. 5. You have been carried. Even when you thought you were walking, there were seasons where you thought, "I'm barely making it." But if you look back now, you didn't just make it. You were carried through it. Scripture. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Deuteronomy 33:27. You thought it was your strength. You thought it was your endurance. No, it was his hands underneath you the entire time. That's why you didn't collapse. That's why you didn't break completely. Because God said, "I've got you, even when you don't feel me." 6. You're changing. And that is a miracle. Transformation is not loud. Sometimes it looks like small decisions, quiet growth, unseen shifts in your heart. But make no mistake, It is powerful. Scripture. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. You don't react like you used to. You don't chase what you used to. You don't think the way you used to. That's not coincidence. That's God rewriting you from the inside out. And if God is transforming you, you are walking in blessing right now. 7. God closed doors you cried over and saved your future. Some of your greatest blessings came disguised as rejection. The job that didn't happen, the relationship that fell apart, the opportunity that slipped away. You thought it was loss, but it was protection. Scripture. I will go before you and level the exalted places. Isaiah 45. 2. God saw what you couldn't see. He saw the heartbreak ahead, the trap behind the opportunity, the weight you weren't meant to carry. So he shut the door, not to hurt you, but to preserve you. 8. You have strength that doesn't match your situation. Let's be real. By now, you should have given up. By now, you should have broken down. But you didn't. Why? Scripture. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Nehemiah 8:10. Your strength doesn't make sense. It doesn't match your circumstances. That's because it's not coming from you. It's coming from a source that never runs dry. 9. You still have purpose, and nothing can cancel that. The enemy tried to distract you, delay you, discourage you, but he couldn't destroy what God has spoken over your life. Scripture. For the gifts and calling of God are irrevocable. Romans 11:29. That means God didn't change his mind about you. Even after your mistakes, even after your detours, your calling is still intact. Your purpose is still alive. Your destiny is still in motion. 10. Your name is known in heaven. Let this settle deep in your spirit. You're not just existing on earth. You're known in heaven. Scripture. Rejoice that your names are written in heaven. Luke 10:20. God knows your name. Your prayers are heard. Your tears are seen. You are not invisible. You are not overlooked. You are remembered by God himself. And if heaven knows your name, you are blessed beyond anything this world can offer. Closing. Wake up to what's already on your life. So I ask you again, what if you're not waiting on a blessing? What if you're standing in one? What if the reason you feel empty is because you've been measuring your life by the world's standards instead of God's truth? Because the world says, blessed is the one who has more, but God says, blessed is the one who has me. So declare this over your life now. I am not forgotten. I am not abandoned. I am not lacking. I am sustained. I am chosen. I am covered. I am blessed when I rise. Blessed when I struggle. Blessed when I don't understand. Because God is with me. And if God is with me, that is enough. So stand up in your spirit. Shake off the lies. Break agreement with doubt. Lift your head and walk forward with authority. Because you are not trying to become blessed. You already are.